Hi everyone, welcome to an impromptu start to a Brit Does Baseball Does podcast with the new theme tune played live by Callum.
That's by far the stupidest thing we've ever done on this show, and we've done some fucking really stupid stuff. And now I've got a guitar in my hand the whole time, and you can't stop me.
Oh God. Anyway, Dan's here as well. Dan, how are you doing?
Good. How are y'all doing? I love the hat, Gary.
Thank you. Well, there's a special reason for this. It's the Brit Does birthday. It's the 1 year birthday of a Brit Does Baseball. We've got a birthday cake.
Yeah, I didn't have any cake. Oh, there you go, Cal. But I did have a piece of gluten-free bread, so that is going to be the closest thing we have.
That works. Dan, if you'd like to blow out the candle, as me and Cal are a little bit far away. Perfect. Happy birthday, Brit Does Baseball.
Yay.
Fantastic. Let's get rid of that hat. So in my head. I want one of these.
Oh, there we go. It's a celebration.
It's a celebration. It's also my dog. It's also Boo's birthday today. So 2 birds, 1 stone.
There we go.
Fantastic.
2 birds stoned. Love it.
Perfect. So welcome to a Brit Does Baseball Does podcast with the birthday special. 1 year ago today, I drunkenly decided to write an article about Javier Assad, Cubs legend, for about half a game before he then went off injured. And that was kind of the birth of a Brit Does Baseball. We started as a blog. This year we started with a podcast. Dan's been involved since around winter last year, and Cal got on board a couple of months ago. And yeah, here we are with our birthday special. So happy birthday, everyone. Hope everyone's had a nice Sunday.
Yeah, good, thank you. I've been furniture shopping, largely.
That's exciting.
It is. I fucking love it.
Yeah, I think you're by yourself on that one. I'm very mixed on it myself.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it's a birthday special. So we've got a bit of a special episode today, where we're just going to do our favorite segments. We don't really have any rhyme or reason or anything else to chat about. The Rounders Roundup's doing a great job of killing all of our stories by us having to cover it in that week. So we've got 3 main segments today with a halftime. Our first segment is we've got an elongated Boo's hot takes, where we have multiple hot takes that we're going to discuss in more detail, and we're going to get quite weird with some of them. We're then going to move on to Dan's Mid-Atlantic Minute, which could go on for a minute. It could go on for an hour. It may or may not include an Orioles prospect. It's highly likely.
We'll see.
Spoilers on that. And then we're going to end with, a super elongated start bench cut, where we've all got a baseball and a non-baseball one. Again, some of the ideas that haven't made the cut were quite good. So I'm excited to see what everyone's come up with for our actual start bench cut. And anything either of you guys want to say before we crack on?
Cheers to 1 year. I'm excited for another year. And let's get to cracking, as you said.
Yeah, just thank you all for the support, and fuck the Sea Dogs. I'm still down for a fight if you want.
Comedic timing. We've got a streamer and we've got Callum and his guitar.
Oh, I've put that away for everyone else's sake. I would have been unbearable if I hadn't.
Fair enough. Before we start, just a quick roundup. Casey Schmidt, 3-run home run, beat the Brewers. Fantastic. Always been a fan of that guy.
Listen, I am so tired with the Giants season at this point that I actually didn't know. So that's a real cool way to find out that we not only won, but fucking the boys doing good things continuously. Thank you.
He's done well. I don't think the Mets have won a game in about 2 months by the sounds of it.
No. Yeah, I would say arguably the Mets season might be. Is it crazy the Mets might be a bigger disappointment this year than the Orioles? But regardless, the Tides won last night, so I'm just focused on that.
Yep, and the Cubs have won back-to-back games against the Angels. So for the last time, Put that way, that's going to get old pretty quickly. But those are 3 of our teams. There is a 4th team, and Dan didn't get the opportunity to talk about the Orioles in the last rounders roundup because he was doing something like a loser does, like working. Our first hot take is actually going to be about the Orioles, and the hot take is that the Baltimore Orioles window is closing to compete for the World Series. Now, just as a reminder for Boo's hot takes, we use the Nando Spice scale. We have very hot, mild, lemon and herb, and very hot, medium, lemon and herb, mild, and then if it's out of this world, you can make you can bring your own you can bring your own sauce. But we're going to start with the Orioles window. It's closing to compete for the World Series. There is no better person to start with than Dan. So Dan, kick us off on this one.
Very hot take. I would go Perry Tamer, but I'll give him credit that, last year we had Corbin Burns. We were building up like we want to win now. So it looks like a complete shit show. However, very hot. The World Series window is not closing. We have one of the youngest lineups in baseball right now. We just signed Samuel Basallo to an 8-year deal. Adley might be gone. He might not be part of this team. We might not re-sign Gunnar Henderson. He has Scott Boras as his agent. We still have Samuel Basallo. We still have Ike Irish coming through the pipeline. We still have Dylan Beavers. We still have Enrique Bradfield Jr. coming through the pipeline. We still have Wahiwa Aloy, Slater DeBrune. We did great in this draft. If anything, the future is more bright, I think. There's no more James McCann. I love Cedric Mullins. I love Ryan Mountcastle, but those pieces are not going to be a part of the future. We were able to trade, unfortunately, the drunk uncle, right? We had aging pieces that are now gone. I'm not defending Mike Elias. Don't get me wrong. I think we've screwed up in many ways. But as far as prospects go in the future, we have a very young, talented team. Now, we're going to need to sign some pitching. So that's why it's not a Perry Tamer. I get very hot. We get some pitching. I think we're slated for next year to possibly make a World Series run, or in more likelihood, right, 2027, maybe 2028. I would not say the window's closing at all.
Fair enough. Cal, where have you got this?
Just before, you didn't mention Jackson Holiday at all there. What's the overall vibe for Orioles fans on him?
Good point. So we have him under team control for at least another, I think with arbitration, 2 to 3 years. 3 years, I think, worst case. So maybe 3 to 4. He's the same agent as Gunnar, Scott Boras. Scott Boras is, if I was a sports agent, I'd probably try to be like Scott Boras. But he's going to take the most money, and he doesn't give a damn about anything else but the Dodgers and the Yankees' paycheck. Let's payroll. Let's be real. So I think that everyone insular to the Orioles wants Jackson to stay, similar to Gunnar long term. I think realistically, who's to say? Me personally, I would prioritize the Jackson Holiday signing actually over the Gunnar because I think there's more value there. I think Gunnar, it's going to be very tough to get that deal done at this point. However, who knows? I guess it's kind of like that.
Fair. That's interesting. I don't know if it's just because what I'm seeing is through, like different YouTube channels and stuff where they're wanting to work with him, and just everything I've seen has been overwhelmingly positive. But I like him. I like his brother as well. I think they're cool, and I like the kind of pedigree going on. I don't know. I think that's all very cool and interesting, and I don't see why the Orioles wouldn't try to side just purely for like a fan service point of view of having a Holiday sticking around for a bit more.
Yeah, no, I think you said it well, I guess, from the outside perspective, because that's exactly, for example, my girl Emily, she loves Jackson. She's like, he seems like a class act. Like, why wouldn't they? Roman Anthony got the $180 million deal. Okay, we got Basallo for like 67, 70 million total. There's another 110 million to play with, right? And we could get. I don't know if Jackson would take a $150 million deal, but I'm not totally convinced that we've offered him that, right? Like, now is the time where you could get some value, right? $150, $200 million contract, 5-6 years. Come on, Mikey, open up the checkbook.
Is he that good? I've never seen him play.
So yes, absolute power, right? From that frame. He's not the biggest guy, maybe 6'1". He's got some of the biggest forearms I've ever seen in person. Like, don't just because he's babyface, the dude is strong. They talked about him struggling versus hitting lefties. Honestly, it's a smaller sample size at AAA, but I've seen him rake against lefties. I think naturally lefties are going to struggle more against left-handed pitchers, but they need time in the major league level. He's a guy similar to Kobe Mayo. I think we saw struggles when Holiday first came up, like we're seeing with Kobe Mayo now, but they both scream to me as like long-term MLB players, possible all-stars. That I think you can discredit some of his. I think he's batting 250 and stuff. He's got the speed. He's got the arm. He's got the power. He can spray the ball to all sides of the field. Come on.
All right. Hell yeah. Sorry, that was a little extra questions there because we haven't had any Orioles talk for the last 2.5, 3 weeks. So I thought we'd let you get all of it out. Now we don't have to talk about them again for the rest of the fucking season. But no, I'm glad that Jackson's doing as well as I think he is. I don't think of him as this crazy elite hitter, but above average seems about right. I'm with Dan. I think this is a pretty hot take. It feels like, okay, maybe they give it one more year before they start really trying to get rid of the farm and maybe going a bit more free agent heavy, tried the prospects route, didn't work. Maybe let's try see what our bank account can get us. But yeah, it's a super young team and it's a super talented team. I think there's about 5-6 years before the World Series window closes. I don't think they're gonna make a World Series appearance for the next 2 to 3, but next year there's a chance at playoffs, which would be a huge progression.
Yeah, I've got this as a very hot take because you need to define how long the window is. If you're saying the window is going to be the next 2 years, then yeah, I think the window's shut. But if you're talking 4 or 5 years down the line, I think by that point, I think Rutschman's now as good as gone. You wouldn't sign Basayo for 8 years to have him playing half and half with Adley.
Yeah, it's an interesting point. I saw a quote today. They asked Rutschman about it, if he's been open to an extension or something. One of those reporter questions kind of insinuating exactly what we're saying. And he answered, I'm very happy for Samuel. It was great to support him yesterday. So, right, he's not going to say anything. But no, that is a writing on the wall, right? I mean, you already have Kobe Mayo possibly being first base. So Basayo can play catcher in first. But you're not going to sign Rutschman just to DH him, right? It's
when's his contract up?
Rutschman, so he's not on a long-term offer either. So I think he's arbitration eligible this year, but we still have him under team control. But a trade piece possibly in the offseason.
I think you could get a lot for Rutschman, in my opinion. Yeah, you've got him arbitration through 2026, 2027. He becomes a free agent in 2028. So, but that's 2 years of team control. There's a lot of teams that would like a catcher like that.
But you can't have too many I can see us rolling with Rutschman and Basayo next year. I wouldn't be against that. I mean, let's be real. Unfortunately, injuries happen, and they've hit Rutschman pretty hard this year. First time he's ever went out on the IL in his career. It's not a bad idea to stack a couple good catchers. So if we want to keep both too, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, it's not a bad platoon option, potentially. But yeah, I've got it as very hot just because you do need pitching. That's why I don't think it's out of this world. But I'm not as high on the Orioles, especially after last year. I thought you guys would smash it this year, and they just went to shit, I think, to put it kindly. And that's more on the pitching side. You guys just need one or two, I'd say on the San Francisco Giants, you've got Logan Webb, right? For the Cubs, you've got Shota Imanaga / Justin Steele. You need a bona fide ace, and then you can kind of make it up as you go along with the other starters.
100%. And it's not Zach Eflin. That's a guy. I'm frozen on my screen, but that's a guy, Zach Eflin. Thank you for your service. I probably would not like to see him in a Baltimore uniform next year.
Fair enough. And on that note, we're going to move on to our second hot take. Cal, do you want to kick this one off? The hot take is that the Brewers are going to win the 2025 World Series.
I think it's pretty medium. I think it's perfectly within the realm of possibilities. They're a good team. They're a fun team. I know you don't like them, but I think they're cool. I dig it. I think that's perfectly down the middle. could happen. I wouldn't be surprised either way.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. I don't like to be a sheep, but I've gone medium on this. The
But
only thing I think that can stop them is we've seen it before in the last few years where the Brewers have like stormed the division. It's like this year they've got a little bit more competition with the Cubs. But you're right. You're right. I don't like them because I'm a Cubs fan. If I wasn't a Cubs fan, what a fun team!
yeah, dude.
What fantastic voodoo magic shit team! Fucking pocket pancakes, old man Pat Murphy, fucking Christian Yelich slugging 20 home runs, having Mizorowski as your ace, Freddie Peralta having a fantastic season, Quinn Priester having God knows where that came from, and then even worse, Andrew Vaughn becoming fucking prime Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
So I've got as medium. The issue the Brewers will have, which seems to hit them every year, is they seem to choke in the playoffs. They don't really can never really seem to get past that wild card. But maybe what is going on, I think, is I don't like to use this as an excuse, but long-time radio announcer, I believe, Bob Uecker. Bob
Uecker.
Bob Uecker, yeah. So he passed away in the off-season. So the whole thing has been like, do it for Bob, because Bob was there for loads of years. So there's probably a little bit of that element to it, which, you know, on a game-to-game basis, you're not going to notice. But when you look back in the year, they might turn around and be like, nah, they did it for Bob that year. And if that's it, I can kind of respect that.
Yeah.
I've got as medium. I just think that they've got the pitching. I just don't know if they have like the superstar hitter. And me and Dan are going to fall out on this because we talk about it every time. Christian Yelich is not a superstar hitter.
Yes, he is.
He is their best hitter, but he is he is distinctly average compared to like a superstar hitter. So I've got as medium. Dan, feel free to counter that.
You're wrong.
Yeah, I think honestly, what this podcast needs is a little more debate. I feel like sometimes we just agree a little too much. So this is perfect. Gary, I pose do you think Kyle Tucker is a superstar?
Currently or in his career?
Do you think Kyle Tucker is a superstar?
No, not yet.
Okay, well then I can. Okay, well if Tucker's not, then I can see why you think Christian Yelich is not. Christian Yelich is a star on his way to superstardom. Maybe I'll caveat it that way. But no, the Brewers have scored 663 runs this year. They are elite. Now, I'll say this as a mild take. Now, maybe I'm a little biased because I submitted it, I think. But if they lose to the Giants today, I will change the spice meter. They play at 210. If they lose to the Giants, maybe they're not all that. But they're kind of peaking at the right time, 5-5 in the last 10. It's all about getting hot now. Now, if the Cubs start storming back, I think I'm totally going to flip this on its head and be like, oh, no, Cubs are going to win the World Series, not the Brewers. But if they continue, right, like whoever I think is more hot in the NL Central to end the season, they might be in the NLCS.
Yeah, I don't see it coming from the... I mean, the West is weird with the Padres and the Dodgers seeming to lose to each other. East side, Phillies, and that's about it.
Yeah, I could totally see the Mets making the wild card and beating the Brewers and just like knocking them out and then losing. I think the Mets hate the Brewers enough. There's a little bit there. But other than that, no, I see the Brewers possibly. I mean, Phillies, yeah, but they just lost Zach Wheeler. It's I don't know. NL's wide open in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think the NL is a lot harder than the AL. So I think whoever wins the NL is going to be going all the way. Okay, perfect. So moving on to our third hot take, which traditionally would be our last one, but boy, we've got so many more. We're going to go with a topic that me and Cal touched on in the last roundup we did, and it's that the hot take is that MLB doesn't need divisional realignment. It should just stay as it is. I'm saying that's a Perry Tamer take for me, purely because if they're going to go through the expansion route, you need to sort out the divisions. You can't have the West, the Central, and the East. It just mathematically won't work out. You can't have one. Let's say there's one in the American League, one in the National League. You cannot have one division that's got 6 teams and the other 2 are 5. So it just doesn't mathematically work out. It's not fair on the division with 6 teams. There will need to be some element of realignment. I don't want them to get rid of the AL and the NL personally. I think that as a system works, and I like having the National League. As you know, National League tends to be more competitive, but if you have the best players in the AL versus the NL, the AL always seem to turn up. So I like that little bit of rivalry, but for me, it's a Perry Tamer take purely because they're going to go through the expansion route. Dan, where are you on this one?
I'm actually saying Perry Tamer. I just honestly, I'm anti-expansion anyway, just because, right, we brought in the Marlins. That was awesome and stuff, but they have not. Like, they won the championship and then just like, cool, we give up now. They're not selling any tickets. Like, they're the ultimate reason. Like, if you look at them as an example of why expansion maybe is not good for baseball right now. Regardless, I liked the AL and NL difference as well. Same to you, Gary. You have to keep it. I liked when the NL still had pitchers hit. I think the little differences in baseball. I'm afraid that, I guess, two things. Number one, if they do change the divisions, that it's going to become this whitewashed, almost like the Super League, I guess, right? Like, there's no differences in division. We're going to make all the ballparks the same size. Everything's the same. No. I like the differences. I do think there needs to be more restructuring. Why is Baltimore and Washington Nationals not in the same division? That makes no sense. They're right next to each other, right? Like, there's certain things you could do a lot better. Put a team in North Carolina, please. Give me something closer in the Southeast. Anyway, no. I think there needs to be a nice East division, a nice, Midwest division, a nice West Coast division. You can combine them and do bigger divisions. And they already expanded wild card. There's a lot of cool things you can do. I have absolutely no trust in Rob Manfred, and I think that whatever happens next is probably going to piss me off.
Yeah, but it's going to happen, which is the issue. Cal, talking about your favorite commissioner, Rob Manfred, where are you on this one?
2 teams isn't enough. We need more expansion teams. We need 4.
Don't say in Europe. Please do not say put a team in Europe.
No, fuck that off. What we need is the Portland team and the Salt Lake City team. We need the North Carolina team and the Nashville team. But literally, why the fuck not? Especially over in, I kind of said it before, but like with Portland and Salt Lake City, there is the audience for it, and there isn't much close. It's there is a big want for baseball over there. It's fucking popular as hell. It's America's game. Those are 2 quite American states. It's I can see it not being as popular in North Carolina and Nashville unless they were in domes that had AC, because it's hot as fuck and it's a summer sport. And so I'd imagine that might put some people off a little bit, spending your Thursday afternoon sitting in 67-degree heat or whatever. Celsius, not Fahrenheit. I think Fahrenheit, that's probably quite cold. I don't know. Fahrenheit.
It's perfect. Oh, 67 Fahrenheit. That's sleeping. That's perfect.
Stupid way of measuring things. Anyway, yeah, expand more. I think that, if you're not going to do the expansion, then it wouldn't hurt to change things up a little bit in the way that we spoke about last time, where you can do it where only 1 or 2 teams change divisions, but then just kind of realigning stuff. So like San Francisco plays Seattle and stuff like that because they're a bit closer, rather than Seattle being in a division with fucking Houston. How does that make sense? That's like 17 United Kingdoms just kind of in a line with each other away. I think that the way that the leagues are set up should be changed. I like the NL and the AL for all the reasons that you guys have spoken about, but yeah, just put more teams in it, make it more fun. Also, if you really want, go get all basketball and hockey about it. Do an East and West. Like, what? Who cares? Why not?
Well, I'm going to say the only thing with the expansions that, some of the cities you named, Nashville, they have a AAA team, right? Salt Lake City, they have a AAA team. So now you can if you're like LA, but having a AAA and a major league team, look, I want it. I want the Orioles to come down to Norfolk, because then I think for call-ups, it makes it so much easier. You just, go across the tunnel, 45 minutes away. But, like North Carolina, I think there is a fan base there because you have the Durham Bulls, right? You have right next door the Asheville Pilots. You got the Wilson Mudcats. They have a lot of minor league teams, but Charlotte Knights in Charlotte, beautiful field. You're going to have to move some AAA teams, and to make it easy, let's make Virginia the AAA haven. Have as many AAA teams in Virginia as possible. Then you can have the Nashville Sounds will become the Virginia Beach Sounds. Well, Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Portsmouth can have one. Newport News can have one. We don't need a pro team. Make them there. But the only thing is the expansion, there's no way you're going to displace some AAA teams in Nashville, right? They can't have the Sounds and a pro team. How's that going to work?
But with the expansion, there's now 4 teams worth of players that need filling up. And
True.
so that is a lot more AAA guys playing.
True.
And so you can take over the Nashville team. You can be like, sorry, that team's now in fucking Arkansas, somewhere else. I don't care. But now you have more guys in the league. You have it works because it's just shifting them up. You're upgrading their AAA team to being a major league team. And then if you have kind of major league money put into the ballpark, making it more of a place to go and a just kind of an event, like, is it the Atlanta Falcons and the Braves and stuff they're redoing? So it's a whole complex where it's like kind of a shopping center as well. Fucking get on doing that. Fucking put some more money into the local economy as well. Why not? You have the chance to make things better for people, so fucking do it.
Yeah. No, I do think more teams is better. Just, I mean, economics wise, though, I mean, after COVID, they folded a decent amount of minor league teams. So it's kind of baseball like, oh, we can't support all these minor league teams. And they're like, hey, here's 4 more teams with 4 more minor league structures. We take that back. We do have the money. Interesting dynamic.
Fucking Shohei Ohtani. Fucking don't give him $900 million. Minor league system $900 million to figure it out. He'll be okay. He's only making $30 million the next 10 years. Put some of that money into the rest of the development for the rest of the sport, you greedy fuckheads.
I like it. A Dodger tax. There will be a Dodger tax that will directly go to subsidize minor league baseball.
Yes. For every Ohtani, you have to support 17 AA teams.
That sounds like a fair trade-off. Perfect. I did look up whilst you guys were chatting. There are actually 2 baseball teams in Arkansas, as in like minor league or major league.
Oh, there's the Arkansas Travelers, right?
Yep, and there's one more.
The Fayette, where are they at? What's the city?
Springdale.
No idea.
No, they're the Albuquerque. Northwest Arkansas Naturals, who are the AA affiliate for the Kansas City Royals. But I think the AI might be wrong there. Sorry, I'm looking on Google. I'll fact check that. Our next hot take, which I'm going to let Cal, you can kick this one off. Right. Don't boo your own team / players.
There's a time and a place. I think, you can read it as, don't be a dickhead, don't boo for the sake of it. Like, don't boo the guy that struck out 3 times. That's excessive. You don't need to be doing that. But, if everyone's unhappy about it, then yeah, you got to let them know there's only so much you can do on Twitter. And most of the time it's blocked anyway, because what you're saying is stupid. But you've lost 12 in a row. Great job, guys. No, dude, you can have some passion. Just don't abuse the right to have a voice.
Fair enough. And Dan, I know you're a bit more passionate on this sort of stuff. Having you got that story with Dom Smith where you had that other fan just heckling the fuck out of him at a AAA game.
Yeah, and I got a recent one that actually pissed me off even more. I got the guy's photo and I tweeted it out. Now, who knows if it's a burner or not, but he probably lost some money. But anyway, he DM'd Cade Povich, pitcher for the Orioles, and talked about finding his wife at Mass because she's very Catholic and killing her and doing other terrible things. And he released it. And it's like, shit like that pisses me the fuck off. And I get it. We're all into baseball and stuff, but stuff like that is when it's totally out of control. You would think guys would want to support. That's why I think the gambling's coming into play. But anyway, I'm a big fan of supporting your team. Those guys are doing their best. They're not trying to throw the game. Trust me, they're pitching their hardest out there. And you see the drunk fans sometimes. And I like to have a few drinks at games, but I never have found myself being that totally almost unintelligible. Sometimes I don't even know who they're rooting for. They're just heckling everybody. Don't be that guy. No one likes that guy. Have fun with it. If someone throws 9 balls in a row, it's going to be tough for you to cheer that guy. I totally understand. But I think with social media now, it's getting a little out of control. And to see Cade post that, which I'm glad he did, and I'm sure that guy's going to face no repercussions for it because people send all kinds of DMs. But There's no place for that in baseball. I know I took this to another level than what was recommended, but that kind of struck a chord and just happened yesterday. And, let's have fun, enjoy the game. But these are people at the end of the day.
Yeah, I see. For the take itself, where it says "Don't boo your own team players," purely for booing, I've got that as again another Perry Tamer, and that's because I think you're entitled to your opinion. Like I'll go back to we mentioned him already, Kyle Tucker. Aside from when he's playing in Anaheim, because he's been fantastic the last 2 games where he's got like 3 home runs. For the last month and a half, he's been shite. Literally every game, he'll roll over to first base or to the second baseman who's about 5 feet away from the first base. And, he was injured, adjusted his swing, blah. I'm not going to go through all the theatrics again. Listen to our past rounders roundup for my last round on Kyle Tucker. But
are you going to boo Kyle Tucker?
I was booing him at home. I was booing him at home.
Baseball's a game of streaks, though, right? Like, it's hard. I mean, Kyle Tucker's not trying to roll over to first. Booing him's not going to help anything.
No, but sometimes booing them can maybe be like some players react to that. I don't think Kyle Tucker's one of them.
I don't think any player reacts to boo. I don't think they give a damn.
I think Tommy Pham reacts to booing.
Okay,
probably not in the way that you want, but
fair. Tommy Pham does care.
I think you're entitled to your opinion, and you should be able to boo them because you're not being offensive to them. You're just saying that sucks, and especially when someone like the main one is when someone like grounds to first and then just doesn't run it out. That's when I think it's fair. It's like you're not showing any effort, or like you do an O'Neill Cruz special and the ball just goes beyond you, and you just like nice little amble to the warning track, then you throw the ball in, and the person's got a single to a triple. That sort of stuff, I think you can boo for. What I won't condone is exactly what you guys have said, where just being a twat. Like, don't abuse another human being because they threw a ball in the dirt. They might just be trying to earn a little bit of money on the side. Just ask the Cleveland Guardians bullpen. On that note, we've got 2 more. Dan, I'm gonna let you choose. We've got a Yankees and we've got an Angels. Which one would you like to do first?
I'll be nice. Let's do Angels.
Okay, so this one is kind of a thing I've been thinking about the last few days. You're a neutral fan. Mike Trout is the most likable player in MLB. How hot is that a take?
Very,
very hot. I mean, is a 230 hitter the most like? No, I'm just kidding. He's out of down here. I would say more likable. This is gonna be. I think Aaron Judge is more likable in my opinion than Mike Trout. I would say there's actually who's the most likable player?
Mookie.
Mookie's very likable. There was another one I was thinking of. He's so daggone happy. Oh, Ozzy Albies from the Braves. I watched a video the other day of him talking about his fish in his fish tank, and I lost video for some reason. Ozzy Albies in his fish tank. I ended up just like going on a rabbit hole watching Ozzy Albies, who's on the Braves, and I hate the Braves. That is a likable guy. I mean, he is nothing but infectious, happy energy. So that's my vote, Ozzy.
Okay, I mean, I've actually got this as mild. I quite like Mike Trout. I think he has kind of whatever you think about the Angels franchise. Obviously, Art Moreno is probably up there with fucking what's the Padres owner called? I forget what his name is. Bob. Yeah, he's a psycho. Purchase anything, but he's stayed with his like boyhood club the whole time. Okay, yeah, he's got paid a boatload. I get that. Yes, he was there with Otani. I get that. But I kind of respect it. Like he could have gone to any other team in the MLB. Any other team would be like, yes, we'll pay you. We'll pay you what you want.
But not as much as the Angels could have paid him.
Potentially not. But what I'm saying is he's stayed there with his club because he wants to try and make something there. And he's never going to win a World Series. He'll be lucky to ever make the playoffs at this point in his career, especially with the Angels. They seem to be getting worse. But there's nothing on him in the press. Like there's no attitude there. Like there's just nothing. And the other players, Ozzy Albies, yeah, he seems cool. He likes fish. Fair enough. Mookie, yeah, fair enough. For a player to have played for both the Boston Red Sox and the Dodgers, and for Cal to come on this podcast and say, yeah, it's quite a likable guy. Obviously, he must be a good guy. But for me, it's Mike Trout just because he just seems to be he's a fantastic player, fantastic power hitter. And I just think you need to respect the fact that he's not decided to go elsewhere.
I'll agree with you. Cal, go ahead. I was just gonna say I take back Mookie being more likable than Trout. I saw a podcast with Mookie and he's kind of being a little bit of a douche about the World Series. So I'll take that back, Gary. I think Trout's pretty likable.
Let's go. Can I turn Callum over as well?
I think if now, because I want to do this now for an episode, is come up with an AL and NL all-star team of just likable guys. And I think Trout makes the team, but I don't think he's the captain.
Okay, that's fair. Who have you got in there? Who's your?
Well, like I said, even hey, you win the World Series, you're allowed to be a little bit arrogant about it, I guess. I don't know. It's just dudes that play with a smile, man. Like Casey Schmidt. I'm putting Casey Schmidt in there. I love him. But happy dude. Willie Adames, same kind of thing. Matt Chapman.
I see where this is going.
Bias in here. I don't give a shit about anyone else, realistically.
Sean Jelly or
no. He was for a brief time, but then the truth was revealed, and I'm disappointed, Sean, but we don't need to go back into that. I don't know. Francisco Lindor, he seems pretty nice. I watched his podcast thing. He did one with Action Bronson. Loved it. They were talking about coffee in Spanish for ages. Action Bronson isn't a Spanish man. It's fucking rad. I just liked it. I like him. I think he's cool. There's a lot of guys. I think fucking Jackson Holiday, pretty likable dude. Gunnar Henderson. Like, fucking, there's nice guys everywhere. The Ass Man Shovel. That's what this whole was built on.
You can't do that for me. You can't do that to me.
I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for everyone else.
I haven't got a Sarge jersey on. I thought I was looking down. I was like, I've got a Sarge on. I was like, no, I've got Young Gomes on today. It's like a who are you wearing? Okay, our last hot take, which I think is going to be a nice fun one to end on, from one of our Minnesota Twins guests the other week, Adam Murray. He came in with the New York Yankees defense will keep them out of contention for the World Series this year. Cal, do you want to kick this one off?
It'll keep them out of contention.
Yeah,
he's right.
Yeah.
While they did, improve their right field slot by signing Austin Slater in an underrated move of the offseason. I mean, they're good. They're just not as good as they were last year, and there are better teams in that division, let alone the rest of baseball. And even still, the New York Yankees defense chose to lose the World Series, in my opinion. I still think there's a little bit of Guardians situation going on there where they had a lot of money on the other guys. But no, I just don't see him doing anything this year.
It's fair enough. Dan, are you in agreement?
No, I'm gonna say very hot. I do agree that the trade for Austin Slater did slightly improve their defense, but I mean, y'all talk. Trent Grisham has been crushing it in center field for him. Aaron Judge, who will probably start at right field over Austin Slater in the future, but who knows?
It's close.
I know he's so good offensively, but that guy has one of the best arms in baseball. Like defensively, he is as sound as he is offensively. I'd argue you could almost say even better. I think Volpe is going to turn it around as a defender. I'm one of those guys, weirdly. I don't really like Volpe's attitude. I don't like the Yankees, but I do think he's going to be a decent defensive shortstop. He just, like kind of Gunnar did early in his career, he makes a lot of dumb plays, but then he'll make like really hard plays. I just think he kind of has to put it together. The reason why I'm saying it's such a hot take, their pitching and their offensive struggles are what's going to keep them from winning the pennant. I think the defensive struggle, that's a little bit down there on the list. They got to figure out pitching, and hopefully they don't. And I don't think we'll see them in the World Series, but that's their biggest issue.
That's fair. I mean, I'm with Cal. I've got this as quite a mild take. It's just like every other day there's an Anthony Volpe throwing error. It's just like he can't throw to first base, and I'm not saying I can.
He's got the target on his back for sure.
Yeah, I'm not saying I can throw to first base. Okay, I mean I miffed one from 10 feet away. But luckily we've got at the I say ground on the pitch we play on. We've got like a little like a metal railing now, and it kind of just like we got a double play because I threw it over the first baseman and it rebounded off of the railing into the first baseman's mitt. So got a double play that way. But anyway, I'm not saying that I can't throw to first base, but you're paid to play. Volpe's been in the league long enough now where he's not a rookie anymore. He should be making them plays. The World Series last year, oh my God, that was comical. That was actually fantastic to watch.
Do you think if Volpe played for literally any other team, that one, he'd be given this much grace, but also two, would anyone actually talk about it? Like if Volpe was on the fucking, I don't know, White Sox, the Tigers, whoever the fuck, do you think anyone would actually be like, oh, look at all these errors, but because he's a Yankee, there's this massive magnifying glass on him?
100% there's a magnifying glass.
I hate the whole when he came in because he was a good young player. It's just everybody's like, oh my God, he's the next Derek Jeter, and I was like, well, now he's cooked. Like, I mean, you're cooked, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely more of a magnifying glass being a Yankee, and then same with the Dodgers. I think if he played for either of those teams, people would just be laughing at him. I just think the Yankees is a bit of a cauldron, but their defense is shocking. I mean, Jazz is a good player. I don't think he's defensively sound.
No.
Jason Dominguez, I don't think knows how to spell the word left field, let alone play it.
He's figuring that one out, isn't he? Yeah. I will say, I feel like if Volpe's on a different team, it's going to be like, let's say he's on the Tigers. I think he'd literally be like a Gleyber Torres. Everyone would be like, wow, this guy's really good.
Probably.
That is true. Yeah, so we're on the Gleyber Torres note, we're gonna stop for halftime. Once we're back, we've got Dan's Mid-Atlantic minute or segment. Again, I think I know what it's going to be about, but I don't want to have any spoilers. So he's shaking his head. So it's not going to be about Samuel Basayo signing an 8-year extension.
It's not Basayo.
Okay, someone else signed an extension I haven't read. So that's fine. We've got Dan's Mid-Atlantic minute, and then we've got a Star Bench cut. We will see you in a second. Hi there, welcome back to a Brit Does Baseball Does podcast birthday special. All three of us today for the first time in like what seems like a month. And for the first time in probably about a month, we're going to have a Dan-led Dan's Mid-Atlantic minute. And he's promised us it does not contain any references to World War II, naval vessels, or Samuel Basayo's extension with the Orioles. So let's see where this ends up. Dan, over to you.
All right, I'm actually prepared this time. So for Dan's Mid-Atlantic minute, I'm going to be focused on the hobby. I love collecting baseball cards and memorabilia, but lately it feels like the hobby is getting out of control. Too many people see baseball cards as just another way to make quick cash. I think there's a trickle-down effect too. A lot of kids aren't in it for the cards anymore. They're at these card shows, and it's about these trade-up challenges, trying to see how much money they can make, trading up a card for another card instead of just enjoying the hobby. Now, when I go to baseball games, I hand out cards to kids for free, and the kids and parents are almost always grateful. And I think that's what it should be about, sharing the love of the game. Baseball is a kid's game first. And while it's awesome that adults collect too, me, myself, I think the greed can be pretty tough to watch. I still love card shows, the people, the hobby, and the thrill of ripping packs. And I just hope we never lose sight of why this all started. They're pieces of cardboard. For the love of the game, let's keep it fun. Let's keep it genuine. Let's keep some morals. And most importantly, grow the hobby. I don't know if you guys have been to any card shows, but it's now recently the last one. There's people just trying to make $1, at any moment, trying to see essentially if they can rip someone off to make some money off cards. And I'm like, this is not at all what it's about. So that's my Mid-Atlantic minute. I think I came in just around 60 seconds, possibly. So I'll leave it at that. Any reprise there from the audience?
Yeah. So now's a good time for me to plug one of my good friends and fellow London Mercury alumni, Harry Stapley. He has a card business in which he focuses on selling and trading cards that he feels passionate about. So it's largely Yu-Gi-Oh, One Piece, and Pokemon because that's what he loves. They're called Stardust cards. That's them there. That's BMO. The Wonderful Bell kind of drew that up. It's like you're saying about focusing on the hobby and the enjoyment of the whole process rather than just like throwing away all of your other Pokemon cards because you didn't get the Charizard kind of thing. Like it's, cards and collecting for the love of collecting it. And I think Harry and there's lots of other vendors in the UK that are doing some really cool stuff similarly that I think, yeah, if it is going to have its moment just now, then we should be promoting the right people.
100%.
Hell yeah. Anyway, baseball.
Okay. I think it's time for start bench cut. So again, if you're new to this podcast, where have you been for the last 6 months? We miss you. Come back. Well, no, those were the wrong words. Anyway, we're live.
Welcome in.
Welcome. Stop talking,
Welcome
Gary.
back.
You're a fucking idiot. Start bench cut. Traditionally, we will have one baseball and one non-baseball related start bench cut. 3 options. You need to start one, you need to bench one, you need to cut one. In recent weeks, we've got a bit more loose with the rules. If you don't like one of the options, you've been able to replace it. Well, we'll see where that goes. We can have a bit of fun with it, depending on what's going on. Who would like to start this week? All of us have got a baseball. All of us have got a non-baseball one because it's the birthday special, and we just want it to be as special as it can be.
I think you can go first.
Yeah, I want Gary to kick it off.
Oh, okay. Do we want baseball? Or we're going to do the
Baseball.
baseball.
Come
one?
on, baseball.
Yeah, traditionally we always wrap up the baseball ones and then we get to the fun stuff at the end. So my baseball one isn't a fun one. So pretend that you're the GM of your favorite team. So me for the Cubs, Cal for the Giants, Dan for the Norfolk Tides, and you've got a free agent signing, and he's going to sign for your team no matter what. He's going to be there for the next 20 years. He's going to be your franchise player.
Holy shit.
Who are you starting? Who are you benching? Who are you cutting? I've got Bryce Harper.
He's
Tommy
already
Pham,
60.
Tommy Pham and Trevor Bauer.
Okay. So for legal reasons, I'm going to cut Trevor Bauer. For reasons that we don't need to go into.
Yeah, fair.
I'm not having Trevor Bauer. I'm starting Bryce Harper because he's at least good. Tommy Pham can stay and be the commissioner of a fantasy football league that I don't want to be in anymore.
Fairly quick. Dan, what about you?
Yeah, again, cutting Trevor Bauer. I don't want him in the same zip code as my team. You're not welcome in Hampton Roads, Virginia, Trevor Bauer. Stay away. I'll bench Tommy Pham. I'd love to see him in the bullpen, actually, purely because when we have fights and people rush the field, I need people from the bullpen to fight. You never see it. The bullpens run right past each other. Tommy Pham is that guy to go pick on some other pitchers. You forced me here to say start Bryce Harper, which I will never do in any other start bench cut given the opportunity. And unfortunately, this is the time I do it. So I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I'm going to cut Trevor Bauer. The reason for Trevor Bauer was before we went on air, I was like, all right, Cal, Dan, can you just name some dickheads in baseball? And first name was Bryce Harper. Second name was Tommy Pham. Third name was Anthony Rendon. And then someone said Trevor Bauer. And I was like, yeah, he's definitely worse than Anthony Rendon. But in hindsight, one of these things is not like the other. And that thing is going to be cut. And that's Trevor Bauer for, again, legal reasons. He's been absolutely dog shit in Japan this year, which is just even funnier because for all of the chat in the last 2 years, being like, I should be in MLB, blah blah blah. Well, he got demoted to the AAA equivalent in what is it, the Nippon MBL
MPB.
MPB, whatever. Yeah. Anyway, he's not in there anymore. He's in AAA. He's got like an ERA of like 6. So you are basically as good as Ben Brown for the Cubs, but obviously one's got a few more legal reasons.
Yeah, I'll take Ben Brown 10 times out of 10.
I've lambasted Ben Brown so many times on this podcast. I was playing the show the other day, doing the Road to the Show mode, playing for the Rockies as a switch hitting two-way player, and I'm catching nowadays.
Gross.
And came up against Ben Brown playing for the Rockies. First pitch of the first at bat, home run. First pitch of the second at bat, second home run. So it's good to know he's terrible in the game as well.
Okay, so the game's realistic then. I guess Road to the Show is pretty realistic. Okay.
Yeah. I'll plug it there. I don't care. I'm really good at the show playing on rookie difficulty. Cutting Trevor Bauer. I think it's a full sweep. I'm going to start Bryce Harper. He's good at baseball. I'm going to bench Tommy Pham, but I'm going to bench Tommy Pham just so he can get into fights with the crowd at every opportunity, because you can't do it. It's quite hard to do it when you're playing. He does a really good job of it. But if you're already on the bench, you're nearer the fans the whole time. True. So why am I going to interrupt that?
Maybe
so that's probably
what we should do is hire him as the mascot, and so he's like encouraged to go into the crowd and just seek people out.
I think how much do you think you're going to pay Tommy Pham to get him into a mascot? It's more than they had to pay him to play baseball. I'll tell you that much.
I don't know. I think 3 Modelos,
Yeah.
not much.
Honestly, let me say for the record, I am a huge fan of Tommy Pham, big supporter, love everything he does. In case he hears this.
Right, it's going to be coming your way. I think me and Cal are relatively safe. So that's probably going to be the worst of the 6 start bench cuts. I'm going to hand it over to. I think it's only fair. We're going to keep it in Britain for now. Cal, what's your baseball related one?
All right. So mine is it is one on that I think is gonna go. You're either gonna massively disagree because one of you's American, or you're both gonna agree because you're both clever people. So you're the GM of your favorite baseball team. You've got a lineup that's real good, and you've signed a free agent, and that free agent is in his prime, Babe Ruth, to play in today's game, but at his physical peak in the fucking 1700s or whenever your stupid country was found. Where do you hit him in the lineup? Is he going 1, 4, or 9?
That was an interesting question, Cal. So let bygones be bygones. Personally, Babe Ruth went to the museum in Baltimore, learned a lot more about his story. His WAR back then would blow away anyone today. He was hitting more home runs than anyone was at that time, right? Statistically. So today, if it's the same WAR, he's hitting like 100 home runs. I mean, imagine Babe Ruth on steroids. Anyway, he's batting fourth. He's the ultimate cleanup hitter.
Yeah.
I've gone differently. And I'm hoping I've got the right answer, or I say the right answer, at least what Cal's thinking. I think the pitching years ago was nowhere near as good as it is now. Like, you got some outliers like Randy Johnson and Sandy Koufax. I'm batting Babe Ruth 9th because I think the key part of that was Babe Ruth in as he was when he was playing in today's sport. Is that correct, Cal?
Yeah, so it's like you've just time traveled 1920s Babe Ruth on the Yankees, and now he's to be fair to him, we've given him some cleats that aren't made of cement, and he's got a uniform that's built for athletics and not potatoes. But otherwise, same physical ability, same guy.
I think he was born in the 20s. No, I'm just messing. Well, I get what you're saying. So he's not growing up with playing AAU baseball today and stuff. You're just plucking him out of his prime and putting him in today. Okay, he's probably going to struggle a little bit, but I do think he'll figure it out. Like Joe De Los Santos said, it's not the velo that took him a lot to get used to. It's just people break. The sliders sliding a lot more, the splitters splitting a lot more. I'm putting my chips on Babe. The great Bambino will figure it out.
I'm gonna start batting him 9th. I'm gonna bench batting him 1st just because it's basically the same thing. I'm gonna cut batting him 4th just because that man should not be cleaning up anything. But you've also got to think though, if you've just plucked him from 1920, 1930, whatever, being like, yeah, just crack on. He's probably looking around going, what the fuck am I playing in?
He's going to be like, I got to figure out this smartphone thing. Forget baseball. He's like, hold on.
You see someone with headphones and he shits himself?
Yeah.
You just can't do it.
He's like, how are you listening to a record right there? Like,
also, someone's listening to like Metallica and he's just,
yeah. I don't know. Bambino could be a heavy metal guy. Who knows?
No, dude, look at him. He's a Frank Sinatra guy now, even still as he was then. No, I'd put him 9. I think a Clayton Kershaw curveball would make him piss himself. I don't think he's ready for. I don't think he's ready for ghost fork balls and shit like that. Yeah. And also, you see how heavy his fucking bat was? It
the
was
heaviest bat MLB
6 trillion ounces. No,
it is. It's the heaviest bat ever used in MLB history.
Oh no, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there's no chance that he swings that fucking lump of tree, makes enough contact where he might get a few hits. He's gonna do okay, but Listen, man, he was a short, fat man then, and he'd be a short, fat man now. I think that Logan Webb would make him see the face of God and weep.
I have never disagreed more on this podcast. I never thought I'd be defending a Yankee, but the great Bambino slander will not stand. He's taken Logan Webb deep. Honestly, over McCovey's Cove. He's hitting it all like Sausalito.
So I think between me and Cal, we've just broken Dan because Dan's had to admit that he's starting Bryce Harper in my start bench start.
It's full just USA versus England at this point. We're back to 1776.
Dan, your turn to get your revenge, mate. Your start bench cut.
Goodness gracious. All right, my baseball start bench cut. Interesting, this was not planned, but same premise. You're all GM of your favorite team. I promise we did not plan this. One player to build your team around. You get Rafael Devers, Gunnar Henderson, or Kyle Tucker.
Well, I'll start by saying I'm gonna cut Devers. I don't think you can build a team around a DH. Personally, it's just I mean you could throw 1929 Babe Ruth in there and he'll do a better job than most DHs. So I'm cutting Devers. For me, it's not the future. I'm gonna go Gunnar Henderson because I think he's got a bit more youth on his side. Shortstop's a very important position to play defensively. I mean, again, right field, traditionally where you put your weakest fielder.
Left field.
Right field because you have more right.
I don't know what y'all do over there in England. In right field, you want a guy with a good arm. Left field is typically the weakest fielder.
Yeah, we do it the wrong way around here.
Just because no one can bat lefty, so it's like you go out and play right field. You might as well just get. I've honestly joked about taking a deck chair out there, just being like.
It's funny because you said that in the past, like right field. I was like, dude, I was always putting left field because I was the weakest guy. What is this right field, weak field? What the hell are y'all talking about?
Come over to Britain, you'd probably be playing shortstop based on some of our athleticism.
I want to come over there and play so badly.
But yeah, I'm going to go Gunnar. Bit more youth on his side. He's shown a bit more power, and I think is more of a key position. I'm going to bench Kyle Tucker, and that's probably a bit harsh because he's only really been shit for a month and a half. But I'm still raw about that, so I'm going to trade him in for Gunnar Henderson.
Valid. Well, in this situation. This is likely what my favorite team will be doing next season. I strongly believe we will be acquiring Kyle Tucker, and we already have Rafael Devers. And as much as I'll beg for them to trade him for fucking anything, I'll do it. He can come here and record this podcast, and I'll go be awful on the Giants. I don't mind.
No, we don't want that. We don't want Devers. We decline the trade.
I'd go Tucker purely because right field at Oracle Park is tricky, and I think Kyle Tucker is a good right fielder. Rafael Devers is a good player. I don't love his vibe. He's not, we were playing so well, guys. Everything was going so well for once. And then we trade for this fucking dude, and now I don't even know that we beat the Brewers last night. And Casey Schmidt hit a 3-run home run. I don't know what's happening, and it's fucking Devers. He's made things sad for me, so I'm cutting Devers. I really like Gunnar Henderson. I think he's great. However, I think this year is where he's averaged out. Where last year was fantastic. This year, not so great. And so somewhere in the middle is where he is. And that's a very good shortstop. I think that what I want for my ballpark and my team is a real good right fielder, though. So I'm going Kyle Tucker, benching Gunnar Henderson, and Rafael Devers. Please fuck off.
Man, whose stock has fallen more over the past year than Rafael Devers? And not to say that's not all his fault. I think the Red Sox did do a little mismanagement, but if I were him, I'd probably do things a little bit differently. But here we are, and he is now a San Francisco Giant for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, for the next 700 years or whatever. Great.
Anyway, we're gonna move on to that's all the baseball chat now. So well done, guys. We survived an episode with each other for the first time in a month. So proud of us. Barely by the end of it with the start bench cuts. We're gonna move on to non-baseball related ones. Do you want me to go again? We'll just go down the line.
Or we can go snake order. We go Dan, me, you.
Down for a little snake draft,
Yeah, go on then, Dan, you're up.
Okay. Non-baseball. We're just going to go streaming service kings. You personally, Netflix, Hulu, or YouTube, how are you getting your digital media?
Oh, okay. So we don't really use Hulu here at all. So can we substitute that for like BBC iPlayer?
The hell is that?
Guess.
Exactly.
Fucking guess.
I guess you just get, let's see, BBC iPlayer. So what? You can just watch Sherlock Holmes on repeat? I mean, what else is there? World War II documentaries?
Yeah, match of the day. That's fucking crucial. Strictly Come Dancing. The Wheel. Fucking
Big Brother. Isn't Big Brother y'all's thing too?
That's ITV now, isn't it?
Oh.
Is it? Oh, shit.
Yeah, ITV2. How the Mighty Fall.
Yeah. Well, we got, there's a few other ones, but can we have like a domestic streaming?
Sure. I was going to throw in Prime Video, but yeah, I didn't know. Hulu's how we do TV. We'll substitute the BBC iPlayer for Hulu. That's fine.
Okay. Well, I'll go first. Fuck the BBC. They're getting cut. I don't know. I'm not a huge movie and TVs guy. I am riddled with ADD and ADHD, and I find focusing for long periods of time really hard. YouTube's great. Everything's like 20, 25 minutes if you want it to be. It's something different each day from the same people you like, rather than having to wait like months. It's fucking great. It's made me worse. 1,000%. It's made me worse. But yeah, I'm a huge YouTube guy. I'm going Netflix second. I appreciate what they're doing. They're coming up with their own stuff, putting money into films and things. They're probably doing bad stuff, which I don't know about. So feel free to let me know. I won't listen much, but I'll sympathize and go, that sounds bad. You're right. Yeah, fuck the BBC. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a bit boring. I'm probably gonna have to agree with Cal. No, I'm not. What am I saying? I agree with fuck the BBC. Cutting them. That I think so. Like they want to make you pay a TV license, which I do, by the way. Pay a TV license to watch shows that I don't watch. Like the only thing I watch on BBC, I watch one series called Death in Paradise, and I watch Match of the Day. But most of the Match of the Day I watch is on like Sky Sports.
Yeah,
so
on
YouTube. Or YouTube, and they say it's free. It's not, because you've got to pay a TV license. That's where all the money goes. Cutting the BBC. I'm gonna start Netflix, and that's only because I don't like. See, I've got to be nice to YouTube now because the numbers on YouTube aren't doing.
You already got banned once, Gary. Come on now.
No, we got banned once. We love you, YouTube. Please ignore those videos previously that me and Cal have been a part of, because I have not done too well, my friend. Yeah. I'm going to start Netflix. I'm going to bench YouTube just because I think the advertisements on YouTube have got a bit out of hand, and I don't want to sit there and pay for YouTube Premium when I've already got like another 10 streaming services. But I think YouTube's great for like, highlights of everything, like baseball games. MLB post all of the highlights free of charge on there, which I think is great. American football do the same. Mr. Beast videos, fucking weird, but I enjoy them. But I'm going to start Netflix. I just like the series I've got on Netflix.
Yeah, valid. What about yourself? But you don't get to say fuck the BBC.
Yeah, I was gonna say, dude, on my morning rise to work, the BBC hour comes on, or it's like, I think it's an hour, but I only catch about 15 minutes. But on NPR radio, and it's funny. BBC is the only one who does the real news. Like the American news will be like, we're performing stem cell research on sperm whales, and it's like, I do not care. And then BBC's like, hey, this is going on. But like, oh, that seems important. So I appreciate the BBC giving me the real world news here in America. I'm gonna cut who. King of the Hill came out, so I like Hulu. And I can't even answer my own question. You know what? We're gonna cut Netflix. I do think Netflix is doing a lot, but some of their original stuff, it's like kind of the same old tired troops. Like they'll be like, oh, let's do disaster series, and they do like the submarine, and they do like the excuse me, Gary, the poop cruise, and things like that. It's cool, whatever. Not, I think some of it gets a little played out, and it's like almost. I'm like, is this like an AI? Like, is this someone actually doing this, or is this some AI script? Cut Netflix. I'll bench Hulu because, like I said, I do like some TV shows. New King of the Hill season has been fantastic. Start YouTube. I've been unfortunately big on the YouTube kick. There are so many good documentaries on YouTube. Recently, my guilty pleasure is I'll find like random baseball documentaries and start it right before bed, and within 5 minutes I fall asleep. It's amazing. So I know about 5 minutes about Joe DiMaggio, 5 minutes about Harlem Killebrew, 5 minutes about Shoeless Joe Jackson. I was listening last night. Eventually I'll finish them, but it is so relaxing.
Yeah, right. You tailor it to you. You're fine. It's great.
YouTube is just, it's gonna ruin us, like Cal said. It's terrible for me, but man, it's great.
I couldn't think of a better hosting platform than YouTube for a Brit Does Baseball Does podcast video content. Personally.
I could think of one. Hey, Spotify, I know that you're a big, evil, awful corporation, but we'd like some money, please. So if you'd like for us to release on your platform exclusively,
that's right.
There's like 5 guys each week that really love our stuff.
6.
We can kill a lot of money.
I don't even think that
content.
I don't even think that Cal. I don't even think you download our podcast. I think you just record and it's just like, yeah, that happened.
Here for all of them. Why would I was there.
You gotta pump the numbers.
Anyway, my non-baseball related start bench cut is to do with like amusement park food, which I'm convinced I've done this before, but I was watching a video on it right before we came on, and it's all I can think about now. So your options are funnel cake, turkey leg, and pretzel.
I just want it out there that you would know if you had done this before if you downloaded our episodes.
I do, but I said it.
I'm joking. I'm teasing. But if you're not there downloading our episodes, start downloading them. Not
like, subscribe, comment, follow.
Yeah, wider audience. We love YouTube and Apple Podcasts and Spotify and Buzzsprout and Instagram and anyone we don't love. We're not on Facebook. Fuck Facebook.
And I love turkey legs. I'll kick this one off. Turkey legs start. I can't eat funnel cakes or pretzels, so they're both getting cut. Also, my grandpa was a legend. Love my grandpa, but he was born in New York City in 1929. So he was a bit of a New Yorker and a bit of a hard ass. One time I was complaining about being hungry in the airport as a kid. And so he's like, all right, you're bitching. Here's so he bought me a pretzel. And I had to eat that pretzel. I didn't have a choice. I did not want to eat that pretzel. Love my grandpa. I'm not a big pretzel guy anymore.
Nice.
I shouldn't have been. I was bitching, to be fair.
Dan, if Dan's grandpa is listening to this, give us a download.
Not anymore, unfortunately. Rest in peace. But he was a huge baseball fan. I'm not here to ramble about my grandpa, but he watched Willie Mays at Polo Grounds, and I think that's the coolest shit ever.
Hell yeah!
Nice, great memory, I'm sure. I'm gonna start funnel cake. I've got a sweet tooth, as you can probably tell if you've ever seen me in real life. I've got a little bit of a belly. I call it muscle, but it's not. A little bit of muscle.
It is.
It's muscle. I've got a dad bod.
There's abs underneath there.
Yeah, somewhere. I was like, I strained my abdominal muscle about a year ago, and no one believed me. They were like, "You don't have abs." I'm like, "You heartless scoundrel. You're correct." So I'm going to start funnel cake. Big sweet tooth. See, I'm a big pretzel fan, so I'm probably going to bench pretzel. I'm going to cut turkey leg, and that's only because for me, turkey leg at an amusement park, I don't like having grease on my fingers. It's more of a functionality standpoint. I love turkey. I love legs. Put them together. Fantastic. But yeah, just not for me at the amusement park. There's a time and a place, and that's not it.
Valid.
Anyway, the final start bench cut. I'm glad we've gone food related, so I'm going to stick on that. A new place opened, and by new I mean it existed for many years, but I only just found it, so it's new to me. So it's a bagel place called Brick Lane in Ware, which for those of you that don't know, where they go, oh, where's Ware? It's a town in Hertfordshire. It's not spelled the same word as the word Ware.
Whatever any of that means.
Exactly. I'm ranting. I'm tired. I'm sorry. I haven't had what I'd go get. They're a bagel place. They serve like classic New York bagels. Obviously, nowhere near as nice. In fact, no, definitely nowhere near as nice. But then I got thinking, what would be, what would be a fun one? I've gone with different bagel meats. So got to start one, bench one, cut one. I've got salt beef, I've got pastrami, and I've got turkey.
Oh fuck!
I think I've got cow torn there.
I'm fat and Jewish, bro. You can't do this to
Yeah,
me.
where's the locks?
Oh fuck. You're gonna have to come back to me. I'm gonna have to think about this seriously for a while.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll honestly, for me, it's less about the filling. I just love the everything bagel. God, that everything bagel seasoning is amazing. I'll start the yeah, I'm kind of a loss. What was it again? The turkey. I'll start the turkey. No, I'm sorry. Turkey's the bench. It's definitely starting the pastrami. And what was the third one?
Salt beef.
Yeah, I think we stopped eating that over here around the 1800s.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. No. I eat a lot of salted ham. Virginia knows big salted ham. I feel like I'd like salty beef, so I'm gonna go ahead and bench that, cut turkey, and we'll start the pastrami.
Okay, that's a good cow. Are you with us, or are we gonna have to come back to you on a different episode?
I think I agree. I'm gonna start pastrami, and I'm gonna bench turkey because I think turkey probably is my favorite of the proteins. It's like chicken, but better. But I don't know, a bagel feels a bit more like a treat. And if you're having turkey a little bit more regularly, pastrami is also a little bit of a treat. And so you put two treats together, and then you're halfway to a good ribbon. I'm cutting the salt beef because when I was in high school in the UK for the 1 year that I was here for, they at the school cafeteria they had salt beef once a week, and it was fucking vile, and it was always so fatty and stringy, and everyone would choke on it. It's fucking horrific. I'm not a huge salt beef guy anymore, and that saddens me. I don't like not liking foods, but so salt beef with those other two, with a happy little treat, and my favorite of the proteins. Yeah, so salt beef is getting put in the bin with the BBC Free Palestine.
Perfect. Well, that pretty much wraps up Start Bench Cut. It wraps up the Brit Does Baseball Does fucking hell. I wish we picked a better name, because every time someone trips up on this.
We should rename it like Kevin.
Yeah. Anyway, this has been Kevin's birthday. Kevin. Yeah. Why not? This has been a Brit Does Baseball Does podcast birthday special. I've been Gary, or Gaz, still Gaz. Cal's been Cal. Dan's been Dan. Salt beef has been fantastic.
I gotta try the salt beef.
Bryce Harper's amazing. And here's to another year of a Brit Does Baseball. We will see you next time that we see you. Thank you and goodbye.
Cheers.